is Sania, and this is my third aha moment, and it's breaking through the me filter in the cultural humility. Before I believed as long as I felt respectful towards other cultures, I was being culturally competent. I did not realize that I was still operating through a very narrow, unconscious me filter. I assumed that it was naturally and harmless to seek comfort in familiar situations. A clear example of this occurred when I was at a go station and I wanted help, like I needed assistance, and I found myself instantly looking for someone from my community or within my age group. I believed that similarity would lead to easier communication and better understanding, but I didn't recognize this as a bias that limited my world and my potentially my future professional effectiveness. This perspective changed during a class lecture on unconscious conditioning. The slide where it forces us through a narrow me filter. I was struck by the idea that we are conditioned from childhood to seek familiar and avoid the different. This was my aha moment. I realized that my behavior at the go station was a perfect example of stereotype trap. The practice of assuming that people think, act, and feel the same way just because they share a same culture or same age group. This shift was deepened by reading chapter 1 of Soft Skills for Dummies, which identifies cultural awareness as an objective and practical soft skill. The author explains in that chapter, the author explains that true culture awareness also allows a professional to effectively and successfully socialize and work with people from a wide range of cultural background. I learned that as a future behavioral professional, I cannot provide high quality care if I only feel comfortable with people like myself. I must look below the waterline of the iceberg model to understand the hidden values like religious beliefs or work ethics that drive every individual, regardless of whether they look like me or not. I now understand that professional growth requires open minded curiosity rather than relying on internal stereotyping. To change this and for my future practice, um, I would make specific measurable commitment to practice cultural humility over mere respect, intentionally bypass assumptions in my future clinical work. When I feel the urge to find the familiar, I will consciously pause and use the Rosenbach reflective cycle to identify if I am reacting to my personal bias. The double interpretation rule. I commit to practice that every behavior across culture divide must be interpreted twice, once by me and once by the client. I will ask my clients, I want to make sure my interpretation of these goals match yours. How do you feel about this approach? To ensure misunderstood meanings match. uh, and expand the third would be expand my comfort zone. I would commit to actively educate myself on cultural practices and communication styles different from my own, at least so once a month, to ensure my mind is like a parachute, remaining open so that it can work best. Thank you.